G'day guys, my name's Josh, you can call me Zwoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in Alpha 20, where I'm back to do something I actually haven't done in quite a while. I'm not in Zwoodle Park today in my testing world, I'm actually in a blank version of the Clock Tower world, because this seed has this gigantic idyllic lake that I'm very excited about, because big bodies of water are back in the 7 Days to Die, and that got me thinking. I've built an ocean base before, but can I build a lake base? I mean, look at this. Why wouldn't you want to live here? Why wouldn't you want to see out the nightmares of the zombie apocalypse by just ducking down the road to your lovely lake house, chucking up your feet and sipping on a coffee or a frothy, and just ignoring all of the perils that are waiting for you in some peace and tranquility? It's so good. I'm so excited about having bodies of water back again. You have no idea. So I'm kind of thinking if I try and implement some of the stuff from the ocean base into this, it'll hopefully work the same. So like with zombie horde nights, right? Zombies can't spawn in water, at least they didn't used to be able to. So you could, if you built far enough away from the bank, you could just AFK an entire horde, or you can draw them out there and fight them if you so desire. But having a lake like this also gets around the other problem with the ocean base, in that to do that, you had to drive to the edge of the map, a long bloody way away, and then out into the ocean, which meant that if you wanted to go raiding or to go see a trader or see whatever remnants of civilization is still around, it was a heckin' long drive over a mountain range to get back to town again. But with this, if I can build a base here, town's right there, you can still be a part of the rest of the game and not just be sipping out, having pina coladas in the sunshine on the other side of the world. So that's the dream, that's the hope. All I have to do, the first thing I want to do, is test what the distance is for zombies to spawn. That's the first one, so I know how far out I want to build my base, and then I can go from there. The best thing about this lake, that it's the reason I'm doing it in this world, not my normal world, is that around the banks, it's a nice steep drop-off. Like bloody Finding Nemo when you're swimming out to touch the butt. There's a good drop-off there, which means I have a bit more leeway to work with how deep the water's going to be. So to test how far I need to go to get the zombies to stop spawning, I'm just going to use this little peninsula over here, so then I know that's the closest land to me, because zombies won't spawn on blocks that I place. I'm going to start just here. I'm going to turn off physics for the moment and just start building out this way. I'm assuming it's probably going to be pretty far out. Like dart traps, for example, I think fire 27 blocks before they despawn the darts. So that's the first number I have in my head I'm going to try and work with. So I want to go to 73. If I would go 70, no, yeah, 72. So I'm 28 blocks away. So that still looks way too close. I'm sure zombies will spawn, but I'll test that and then see how we go. Let's just go straight through to the horde night to get them to spawn in and see if they pop in just next to me. No? Wait. No, surely not. I've got a fat Hawaiian over there, but he's just part of the regular world spawn. Where are all the zombies? It's horde night, there's supposed to be a lot of them out here. ScoMo's hopping and bopping around. Alright, this isn't a very good test if I don't have zombies to test with. I realize the issue, it's because I'm still in the game stage 1, I've done absolutely nothing, so I'm too much fresh meat for the zombies to actually spawn anything for me to fight. So I want to give self XP, like, lots. Just lots of experience. There we go. I'm now level 300. That should probably spawn a couple of zombies my way. Bonzamate level 300. Got 299 skill points to spend. Not really planning on using that though. Let's go back to Horde Night again. Let's go all the way straight to it, because that should work a bit better. There's Horde Nights. There we go. They're spawning in. That's what I needed. Okay, so they are spawning on the bank over there. That's all good. That's all I needed. Just some proof in the pudding. Nice. Thank you. You can keep your pudding and go back today and see how much further out I need to go. I'll save you all of the testing. I'll cut that out because I have been making rather long testing videos lately. But basically, the magic number is 50 blocks. 50 blocks from the shore stops them spawning in. The way I found it out is just by building like 5 blocks at a time and running the horde night to see if anything spawns in. Because if I'm right on the 50th block over here and I turn it back to horde night, like that won't spawn in any zombies over there. Now, it's important to know as well that it's 50 blocks as a radius from where you're standing. So if you're close to a bank on your left or your right or behind you, it'll spawn the zombies over there. Oh, maybe it's not 50 blocks. I have been made a pumpkin. Excuse me. Where the hell did you just spawn? Can I get someone else to spawn over there? If there's one tile that's just within reach, occasionally we'll try and spawn a zombie there if it's right on the cusp. So that actually kind of just doubles down that it's maybe 51 blocks or 50, but there's one block of land that it can place a zombie on. This also means for vultures as well, it has to spawn a vulture in on the ground before it can take to the skies. So there's no vultures in the air either. Can another one spawn, please, out there? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, where are you spawning? Show me the block that you're spawning on, because you're going to be right on the edge, I feel like. Yeah, right on the bleeding edge. All right, fair enough then. So let's go to like 52 blocks to make it a bit easier for us. Give ourselves some factor of zombie safety. It's really not that far out. Like, yes, it looks a long way when you think about spans and stuff. I'll get to that in a second. But that's not nearly as far as I thought it might be. So now that I know that I have to build at least 50 blocks away from the shore, I'm going to actually build this base over on this side. Not over where that peninsula was, over at the end of this road. Because I like to envision it that I'm cruising down here on my Jeep or my motorcycle, whatever, just punch through this fence, come down to the bank and drive out onto my bridge that's going to lead to my lake house. So I'm nice and connected to the town already and don't have to go bush bashing through the shrubbery, potentially killing flopsies and mopsies and all sorts of muppets out there. That's going to be a much better deal. So right smack bang in the middle, right about there. I'm going to stay at that level so I don't have to go dipping and diving too much. That'll be fine. So it's going to be 50 blocks from the bank here. Or do I just build it from the shoreline? That might be easier, and conserving resources is always pretty bloody important, so I'll try and keep that in mind. Let's go all the way down to the bank, right about there. That there ought to do it. We can like smooth out that entryway in a second. That's not too big of a deal. But it's right smack bang in the center of the road. Nice. All right, here we go. So my blocks are starting to turn yellow. So I'm starting to get to the end of how much weight I can support without any supports underneath. I can't put any more blocks on without a collapse once it starts looking like that. That's okay. Once it turns pink, it's all over. The next block will collapse everything. So I have to build some supports. The problem is, the water in this game has about the same viscosity as molasses. It does not move or let you move really at all. Fortunately though, the zombies can swim through it without nary a problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna go back 2 blocks like that, because that column here is where I'm going to build my supports from. And there's a sneaky little trick you can use to make that a bit more viable. Oh, by the way, I do have physics turned back on. I'm not sure if I mentioned that a second ago. So this is the column here that I want to be the pillar, and to actually really show you what I'm on about, I'm going to grab myself a nail gun, some wood, and all the other materials you need to actually build this as if it was in a proper game. Concrete, grab that one, grab the nail gun, because what's going to happen is you're going to jump in and you're going to slow down really badly. You can reach a little bit further down the way. Obviously, when it gets deep, we're going to have some more problems. But look at that. I can't swim up to the surface or start drowning anywhere near as fast as I would like to. But there you go. That's the pillar that I'm going to need. But if you have to be going up and down all the time, and that's going to take 80 years to do because you can't swim faster than a fish with no tail, what you want to do is grab some ladder blocks and chuck them down the pillar as well. Because what that's going to do is overwrite the water block that's in that place. And you can move around so much faster. So you can get to the bottom, you can go all the way up and use the full extent of your lung capacity to upgrade your blocks and do whatever you need to do. And then if you start to drown, you can just jump back onto here, up you go, right back to the top, put some air in your lungs and go back down again. So chucking some ladders down there will save your life. We're getting considerably further out from the shore now, which is not instilling me with a whole lot of good feelings, especially given how deep I'm gonna have to swim to place these next lot of pylons. You just don't sink at all, and getting down to the bottom is a pretty significant stretch. I cannot wait until they fix the water physics in this game. Water could be so useful and so fun, especially for building cool bases and stuff like that, or just the aesthetics. Build yourself a moat or a bloody fountain if you want to. But as it stands at the moment, it's not particularly fantastic for anything other than filling yourself with syrup and sinking very slowly to the bottom. There we go, that's my span, my entryway done. I did have to go a little bit further than the 50-something blocks. I was gonna go 54, but at 54, which was around about here somewhere, I think it was, remember what I said at the start, how it was 50-something blocks regardless of direction in a radius? I chose to line up with the road over there and kind of just neglected these little spurs of land over here. So zombies were actually spawning on those little nipples over there. So instead, I had to build myself out a little bit further on. This span is 74. I didn't choose the number for any reason. It was just like the next lot of spans along. But if I stand all the way out here, turn it back to Horde nights, no zombies spawn. So we're fine, we're good. Now I could walk towards the bank over here and some zombies would spawn in, which would be a-okay. If I wanted the fights, they would be there waiting for me. I thought so. I thought they were going to spawn in. Maybe not. Maybe I just completely broken the game by not giving them a spawn point to start with. Let's pretend that I was standing here when the Horde Knight showed up. There you go. Vultures spawning on the ground, Arlenes, Marlenes, all sorts of Muppets spawning on the bank. But if I do the reverse of that, actually, let's just double check it. Run all the way to the end, murder all those zombies. Do you spawn anymore? No. No, you don't. So you can just, like, if you've come out here late, as long as you make it out to your safety pylon in time, you're good to go. I suppose you could just AFK the base like this, but I want a house to live in. Put down some railings along my little causeway over here. In fact, you and you need to be the end pieces. Quickly grab, where we get that one. No, you go on that side, thank you. So you all match up nice and lovely like, and you can go on there as well. Nice, so it's now wide enough to easily drive down with a motorcycle. Should be wide enough for the Jeep as well. I think from memory the Jeep will fit down a 3 wide relatively simply. I did want to use like the road barrier, the specifically road barrier things on the side, because I thought that'd be kind of cool, but they sit on the wrong side of the block for me. So like the U shape, the flat side of that needs to be where the vehicles are going to be, so it was going to take up most of the block if I had to put that railing in, and sticking it all on the outside was getting close to the limit of what I can support off these pylons. In fact, this would have definitely been the limit for a bunch of these, so glad I didn't do that one. So the railing should do fine. Now all I need to do is get that to mate up nicely with the dirt over here. So we'll go as far along as we can, that'll do me there, and then just get myself some sheets, just that one, advanced rotation, stick your flat as attack along the deck, that one, that one, that one. Clearly doesn't have to be concrete, can be, I don't know, wood or iron or whatever. I'm just building everything out of concrete because it's kind of like the default material for any decent base in this game. That's there like that. Nice, okay, that's going to be nice and smooth. Let's get ourselves a 4x4 just to make sure it will actually go along the jetty how I planned. Definitely not going to go cruising around in a green one though. Got purple dye for a bloody reason. Chuck it in, get some gas as well, and see if you fit. Suck in those Big Macs, Josh, because it's about to get tight. Fill you up, jump in. Here we go, it's a bit hard to see, but done. Done and dusted. Look at that, nice and snug all the way along, and right off again like a long walk of a short pier. Perfect. So I guess that like that pier bit is really the most imperative part of this whole build. You can build whatever you want at the other end of this. As long as they get too close to the shore over there so the zombies spawn in again, you're pretty much right to build whatever you can fantasize about. Want to build a castle? Want to build a dragon in the castle? Bloody do whatever you want. You can build a massive model of Princess Fiona if you really bloody want to. But I think for me, I'm going to keep it relatively simple. The only thing to keep track of is how much weight you can support. If you want to build a solid column all the way down to the bottom of the lake, be my guest, go for it. I'm not going to because I'm lazy and I can't be asked. But if you want to like have a solid connection all the way down to the ground, go for your life. I'm just going to build supports as I need them. But basically, I just want to build myself a sweet little house out here. Somewhere to keep the rain off my noggin and somewhere I can pat DD in safety. Just like that, give myself a foundation and go from there. I was gonna chuck in this big purple roller door because of course I bloody would, but it's kind of occurred to me that, I mean, that was pink and I put it down anyway, but I don't think I can automate this, can I? I can't have that connected to like a motion sensor or something. If I could spell motion, go back to primary school please, because apparently letters make no sense to you anymore. Go like that. We'll go wire tool. Doesn't really matter if it has power right now, because I just want to see if I have you, for example, chucked up on that pylon. I'll try and wire from you. So I can't, okay. So I can't actually wire to the roller door. That changes my plans a little bit. I guess I'll just go back to having like a regular door then. The regular garage door, the powered one. That'll do me. It's not quite as big and luscious. Hold the phone. Not quite as big and luscious as the big purple one, but we'll see how we go. That will fit in there nicely. I know I can wire that up to a motion sensor so I get out of my Jeep when I'm rolling up and ready to go home again. That'll work nicely. Alright, sick. Chuck in some windows in what will probably be the garage. I would love if, imagine if you could get like those, like one of those like Japanese car park rotisserie things so you could drive your vehicle in and then like have it turn around for you. That would actually, I mean, that wouldn't be too hard to make in the game, would it? It was like a dedicated thing. It's like a big blade trap that doesn't murder things. We already have things that rotate instead of rotate more usefully. So you could drive in, park up your Jeep, and then when you come down to drive out later, flick a switch and it turns around for you. That would be awesome. So if that's a thing, someone please like send me a link to that or something, because that would be the tits. But in the meantime, that's just going to be my garage. I'm going to like continue this out to the back here, then get some stairs, go to a better living area up the top. And all of this, while just being a cube at the moment, is safe from the zombies. So I don't need to worry about the fences or whatever. I can just build a house that feels nice to be in without having to fill it full of death traps. Because kind of the whole point of this base was to like, you know, live somewhere beautiful. No point building yourself into a concrete sarcophagus if you can avoid it. I'm going to grab some of the new window trim blocks that are actually going to come in pretty useful, I think. I'm going to grab you, chuck you just here so I have somewhere to stick some glass panes to, and have like a nice big bay window. So as you come in and head up to these stairs, it will take you up to the top. You have a wonderful view, whole like kind of panorama right in front of you. I know this doesn't matter for zombie survival stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway. Aesthetics always matter. Got to make sure your bases look nice. There we go, that looks pretty good. Got a nice big window just here, then up the stairs. Not really sure what to do with this bit yet. I might turn it into something in a moment, but I think for the outside here, I would like some sort of balcony or something. We'll go like this, we'll go, it's not called a balcony, Josh. It's called like railing, I think. Not wailing, a railing. Like one of these ones. I don't know, there's so many different options now, it's hard to know what the right one's gonna be. Potentially even just getting like a plate, sticking it upside down, and then putting railings on the top of it might be the way to go. Although in that case, I think I'll go with the sheets. Just because it's thinner, easier to use, and doesn't get quite as in the way. And it's gonna mate up nicely with the ramp blocks here. So there's no like weird little like troughs and divots and things. Gonna use sheets for the floor down here as well. Purely so it doesn't feel quite as claustrophobic when you first drive in. If I go a full solid block there, it'll only be 3 blocks tall, which is still enough. But if I go the sheets, it means that I have that extra kind of ceiling space on top of me as well. Just more breathing room, makes it feel more luxurious, and if you're going to be investing all these resources to build a house in the middle of the lake, it may as well be as fancy pants as you can make it. All the way along to them. Gonna ignore the fact that this is just fill your house with exhaust fumes, but whatever. Come up to the top, this will be the living area, and that'll be all nice and lovely-dovely. That actually, it's come together really well, you know. That's not too bad. I reckon that, while a little bit simplistic and not that showy if we're being honest, lots of like nice windows though. That's come up really bloody nicely. It needs some more purple accents though. That door's a little bit too big, so instead, give me the slightly smaller one. 5x4? No, how big do I want this thing? I need it to be like 4x4? Is that even an option with all of this stuff? No, I guess it's just going to have to be that one, and I'll figure out how to make it fit. Like the 5x4 would have been lovely, but it's just a little bit too tall. You know, I could have put it in if it was 5x3, would have been happy sailing all the way to the Dory Bank, but wasn't to be. But if I just chuck it in, you replace the blocks at the top, which I don't hate actually. Maybe that is the way to go. Maybe that is the bloody way to go. I'll chuck you in that way if you're gonna let me. Like that. Yep, there you go. So you open up very bloody slowly. Wouldn't be in a rush, would you? But get some nice accents, get a nice breeze coming through as well. More open space, open plan zombie living. I like it. I actually like that a lot. That's come up trumps. Chuck in a couple of these end tables for some lovely lighting. Now, does it still work with the table candles, not the other candles? I haven't tried this since like Alpha 19, but that looks like it works there. That looks like it works there. I mean, you can't turn those bloody end tables on, so just going like that will make it look pretty bloody spiffin'. Let's get it nice and dark for nighttime to see how it looks. Oh, come on, game. Yep, stay with me. That's fine. Couple of zombies spawn on the bank. Now, those are just regular world spawning zombies. They're not actually Horde night zombies, so they'll just wander about and peter about and do whatever they want. If you wanted to, you could build yourself even further out into the lake and then nothing ever at all will spawn, but purely for Horde night stuff, that's about, like, all my testing was done for that. But that's fine, but I mean, it's a little dark in here. It's not especially bad, though. Got my bed with some end tables as well. Can close the doors and make it even more snug. All I need now is a couch. I'll run a cheeky horde against it and see how it goes. There's a couple of things I want to add to it though, just in case we do want to fight. So if you built this, and by the way, from this angle, it looks sick and I'm having a great time looking at it, but if you built this and then decided that you did actually want to fight the Horde, all you'd have to do is just find how far along the pier you have to go to get close enough to the bank for the zombies to spawn, which I have decided is about here, and that will spawn all the zombies over that side. Because then, once they spawn in, they will then make a desperate charge to get to you. But one or two things can happen. If they're spawned like this, they can go underneath the water, which is not especially great if you're trying to, you know, not have the supports tunneled out. I suppose you could even like put maybe like floating supports, get 2 plates, put them back to back so they're suspended off the ground. If you wanted to make really doubly sure nothing bad was going to happen. But if you built yourself anything really, some sort of like barricades or something like that up the top there to draw the zombies in, they will use that path if it was a shorter route for them. I'm not sure what these guys think they're going to be doing down here. I might just watch them for a little bit and see how it goes, because at the moment, not your best effort. You're going to beat on the pylons or just dumb? None of you have any idea what you're doing. I was kind of curious how the pylons would stand up if things did go wrong, but for the most part, nothing. Oh, there you go. Bit of a tickle. Little bit of a tickle. Are you actually doing any damage though? Yes, you are. Okay, protect your pylons. Now I'm kind of curious actually. I was expecting, admittedly, with that little test there, I was expecting them to run up to the entry over here and then charge down my pier like it was any sort of corridor. I was about to start thinking like, what could you implement onto this to, I don't know, fight them off? I don't really want to drop them into the ocean because as you saw, they'll attack the pylon. So I wasn't really going to do something like that, but I thought they were going to like, pose more of a threat than just like slapping on a scuba suit and getting down there like they're attacking the Black Pearl. What if I go back to nighttime again, and if I stand closer to this side over here, will they choose to take the dry land option or go straight into the drink? So some of them come along here. Okay, that's good to know. Or could I just murder you guys though and see how far along I can get before they give up on that option? That Arlene actually that went down the guts actually popped up again and showed up over here. So it's kind of dependent. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of dependent on where they spawn. If you were building this somewhere where you didn't have these spurts of land over here, and they were only going to charge up your little causeway over here, then you could build yourself really anything you wanted. You could build yourself like a killing corridor, not really a hatchway I suppose, but some sort of barricade that you could fight them in, even like just off to the side over there, because they're going to attack you, not your house. So if you had like a little access way off the side over here, just like a couple of blocks with an extra pathway, you could have like kind of like guard towers to your causeway. I kind of like that idea actually. Let's build something like that real quick. So what I want, I've just like shot together this quick little guardhouse here, but what I want is the zombies to try and take a route along the outside that's gonna benefit me more than it's gonna benefit them. So I'm gonna chuck in these ramp blocks as a way for them to path. I'll grab a sheet, please, as that extra little bit up the top. Sheets are super useful and super helpful in a lot of situations, but I might need to double sheet on this one. I know that's going to work okay. Stick you onto them. So that's the path I want the zombies to take. And in fact, just to really double down on this, I'm going to chuck in some powered vault hatches there as well. So if I want to fight the Horde, I'm going to make doubly sure that they come in the way that I want them to. I can flick a switch. Those vault hatches will close up for me and mean that this is no longer an option for them. They have to go this way. In fact, right there. I'll get rid of you, get rid of that one over there as well. I can fire from up here if I want to too, but that's where I want them to come to, so I can sit here, bonk them off the side, and they shouldn't cause a problem for me anymore. I've just chucked down some spikes on the roof to deal with some vultures, because I can't really be bothered dealing with them, plus they're super easy to kill. Wooden spikes are super cheap and deal with vultures really easily, and put in some .025 pillars here for me to swing through. They're tried and true and really effective. So that should, I think, work out really well. They have no way to get to me other than coming up the stairs. Plus, I've blocked off their main route, so they can't get down into here to these doors anyway. And my actual house all the way down here is safe and sound. Safe as houses, if you will. So, let's go through to Horde Knights. Get all their attention. Now, I was standing here before, and they all charged over. There we go. To there. The ones on the water going the same way? I think so. Old mate's coming up the bill, so let's see how we go with it. Grab our club. One more. There you are. I mean, I killed him. I didn't really mean to. I'm getting stuck on my bloody lance. I'll get rid of that one. Alright, Josh, try not to kill him then. That's a rat. He shouldn't die straight away. Can you go floppy though for me? There you go. So if he's fallen down into the water down below, that should mean that I shouldn't have too much of a problem with him. In fact, I might even just quickly double check that. Let's quickly jump out of my body and go and have... Oh, God, okay. That... Why is that happening? Why is there a cavalcade of zombies going down through the drink to get to me? But these guys are up at the top as well. That's really interesting. They're not supposed to be here, but one of these guys is the one who I just swatted off the side. Oh, my game. My game is chugging so bloody hard. Oh, I turned off their AI. That's why. I was so confused there for a second. Are any of you guys in destroy everything mode? You are. Destroy area. Okay, so that didn't actually work out too well. Maybe just don't fight hordes if you build a lake house, because how the shit are you gonna deal with this? Why are they even going that way? I built you a path. Come on, zombies, be smarter. You know what? Let's just call this what it is. Let's call this a lesson in what not to do. Don't do what I did and build your pier anywhere close to where there's land over here. If this wasn't here, if the zombies weren't spawning there, they could only spawn over that side. They would always take that pier instead. But I don't know why they decided that that's the way they want to go. I mean, they should see this as a way to get to me, but apparently not. So I was going to say build it off a bank. Like, even if I built this over here, for example, just a little bit further to the south away from that little outcropping there, even that would have done me so much more of a service. Because out here, I've got that bit over there, that bit over there, but right in the middle I'll be far enough away. It's only because I wanted to line it up with the road that it's caused me dramas. Well, you know what? Even if it didn't work perfectly for this build, if you built that properly, it would work a treat. A couple of the ones that spawned where I wanted them to did actually go the way I wanted. They still have destroy area when they fall into the water though, so that's been debunked, which is a bit of a shame. But, I mean, the point of this, if you're going through all the effort to build yourself a house all the way out in the middle of nowhere, it's probably because you wanted to sit back and enjoy the horde without any zombies actually spawning in. And if I'm all the way over here, other than a cheeky chicken over on the bank over there, no zombies spawn, so I'm fine just to hang out in my little cozy house over here and punch a bunch of froths. Put that in speed. I'm already not wearing pants, so I can just prop up on the couch over here and drink to my own happiness. Not that I can really see because I'm fuzzy as fuck, but there you go. So that is the lake house base. Still works a treat if you don't build it next to the bank over here. I really like how that one came together, but didn't really work out perfectly in the end because the zombies decided, yeah, nah, mates. But this, as a thing, I really like it. I really like it a lot, but it has kind of got me thinking of what else I can do with this, and I have some ideas. So I'm gonna have to punch more froths in the safety of my house and come back and build some more horde bases in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.